Hey gamers, it's G from the corner, and today we're going to be talking about something that I haven't seen anybody talk about, okay? No Switch 2, no Nintendo Direct. I haven't heard anybody talk about this at all, if I'm being honest, and I'm very surprised that everybody's kind of just taking this lightly and not really putting two and two together and realizing this is the plan, but it probably just shows Nintendo that, yeah, we are making the right move here by doing this, because yes, I have a truckload of reasons to believe that this year will mark the end of Amiibo. I know you all are probably bawling, saddened by this realization that I have come to. Probably not. Maybe you all have forgotten about Amiibos, honestly. But yeah, no, I think we're kind of nearing the end of the road for them. Now, this is really kind of built off of one big thing that I don't know if everybody's been paying attention to, but has been going on in the past year or so. No, not really a year or so, but we've been knowing about it since like last fall, I want to say. There has been a mass Amiibo restock. It started with some AliExpress shop, I think Air Swift or something, getting a ton of old Amiibos with new packaging, just randomly. And, you know, people would be buying them off of that store. But now these Amiibos are starting to make the rounds. They're starting to make the official restocks. For instance, I just bought myself a Joker Amiibo off of Best Buy at retail price. I was shocked to see it come back. There's been other ones, like I know some Zelda Amiibos. I went to a local game store that had 100 Amiibos in stock, and a lot of them had this new back design that is just generic, slapped together. It literally just says Amiibo and has the stock art of Amiibo from literally actually 10 years ago now. And it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me because I see all the signs here, but nobody cares. Nobody cares about Amiibos. They're like, what? Like they're not investing. Nobody's purchasing these figures in mass bulks to try and hold on to them for when they become even more valuable than they once were. No, nobody cares. Amiibo's yesterday's news, and I want to say it's unfortunate, but it's not that unfortunate. I look at my shelf when I wake up in the morning and I realize that I have like 35 Smash Bros. Amiibos, and it's a pretty nice size, but like, what's the point of having most of them if you don't have them all? Because they have every Smash character as a figure now. I mean, Sora's coming out very soon, and when he drops, yeah, all of them will be out. And it's like, wow, you know, like, it's unfortunate. In my mind, I'm like, I'll never be able to get all of them because it's too expensive. I don't want to spend the money on them. But now they're restocking a ton of them, but they're not restocking all of them. It's a very weird level of restock. So you've seen Amiibo restocks happen in the past. For example, I'll give you one. Bowser's Fury Mario 3D World, when that came out in 2021, Nintendo released 2 new Amiibos, Cat Mario and Cat Peach, but also did a restock of the Smash Brothers Bowser and Bowser Jr. Amiibos. They had compatibility in the game, but so did any old Amiibo, funnily enough. So, you know, they restocked these obviously because, okay, it's the Mario stuff. You know, those characters are in the game, and I think they have maybe 1 or 2 special perks. I don't think they did, honestly. But, you know, whatever, we'll restock them because theming. You know, Kirby in the Forgotten Land comes out. We're not releasing new Kirby Amiibos, but here's the Kirby series Kirby and the Smash Brothers Dedede. Randomly on March 8th, they're going to be restocking the Sheik Amiibo, the Wolf Link Amiibo, and the Guardian Amiibo at my local Best Buy. What are you talking about? There's no correlation there. There's no Zelda game coming out on March 8th. I don't think there is anyway. Nintendo's not going to announce and release one in like 2 weeks. And here's another random one. The Joker, Banjo, and Terry Amiibos are all getting restocked on February 16th, also from my local Best Buy. What's going on here? Why are these random-ass Amiibos coming back? I know you might be thinking, well, those are Smash Ultimate DLC Amiibos. Those just came out like 2-3 years ago. Did you hear Sheik in there? Sheik came out in 2015. That's like a 9-year-old figure. Okay, what's going on here? What's really happening here? Well, I believe that Nintendo is depleting all of their leftover stock of like just every Amiibo. They are getting rid of all of them. They've had some sitting around and they're repackaging them in generic packaging so they don't have to spend as much on printing, I guess, and they are just churning them all out. They're getting rid of all their stock. Maybe they're making a few new ones in those lines just to, you know, make it seem like a natural restock, but no, there's not even no themed packaging, no nothing. It's just a basic box with a random figure released any point in the last 10 years on it. But yeah, I believe Amiibo are ending partially because of that, but you know, it makes a lot of sense if you actually look into it. Amiibo have been a very gung-ho thing for a long time. Nintendo really stopped caring about them after the Wii U generation. Okay, well, not so much stop caring about them, didn't really like make a big stink over them anymore after the Wii U generation. The Switch came around and, you know, we'd get like the Smash Ultimate amiibos all the time, obviously, and every once in a while we would just randomly get a new game with amiibos in it. And I think we learned in 2019, I don't have the interview on hand, but I recall an interview with Inuma or somebody at Nintendo asking about the Link's Awakening amiibo and if amiibos are donezo. And I think the response was, if a dev team wants to do something with amiibo, they let them make the amiibo. That's why we got the toy Link, because they wanted to make Link's cute little toy design into an actual figure. That's why we got the Cat Mario and Cat Peach, because they wanted to give us ceiling textured amiibos. You know, great stuff there. That's why they've been doing these amiibos outside of the Smash Bros. Ones. The Smash Bros. Ones has been to complete the set, and now with Sora, we are going to have every single Smash fighter as amiibo, which is cool. But, you know, after that, where do we go from here? The next Smash Bros. Is definitely not going to be, I mean, unless it is literally Ultimate 2, it's not going to have every character. And Smash Bros. Was always like that's the big thing with Smash Bros., right? You collect the figures. And so it's going to be kind of hard for the new game to come out and then to be like, well, okay, you can get like the Bandana Waddle-Dee amiibo because he's a new character and we made a new figure for him. But you can't get the Mario amiibo because that came out like 10 years ago. And it's also based on his render from like 2 games ago. It doesn't really make sense. So that line is probably not coming back. But like, you know, other lines too. Like, okay, it's literally been a first come, not a first come, but like just a volunteer basis. And I'm surprised how many figures we've gotten out of it because of that. But there's been some really weird late releases. We've been getting Splatoon 3 amiibos after launch. We've been getting Zelda amiibos way after launch with no DLC in sight. We just got Xenoblade 3 amiibos. The last DLC pack for Xenoblade 3 came out a year ago. They announced these in September. What is the point of these? I don't understand, right? In my mind, they had some ideas, and now they're just getting around to finally making them. But okay, like, I'm saying a lot of just crap, honestly. Just like, okay, whatever. They're getting rid of amiibos because they're restocking a bunch of old ones, and they're not really putting much into them. What's the real reason here? Nintendo's always going to have the NFC support, so, you know, it'll always be there. Well, see, there you just said it. Always going to have the NFC support. Nintendo is very likely releasing a new console in the next year or so. I'm not going to say very likely. They're releasing a new console pretty damn soon. So it can be pretty easily reasoned in my mind that there's not going to be amiibos on the new console. The new console will not have NFC technology built into its controllers, and it will not allow you to scan in amiibo figures. You'll have to use old controllers. If it's going to be iterative, you can, like, you know, and backwards compatible, you could probably still use Switch controllers on it, but they won't build the technology in, because what's the point in doing that if you're not making any new figures? Like, why do they have to do that? They're not really going to be making any figures, so, you know, let's just leave amiibo in the dust with the Switch. It's been 10 years, it had a really good run, but now we don't really need to do it anymore. It all makes sense to me. They're going to try and sell the last of what they have this year. They're going to have a big blowout, or a small blowout. They won't talk about it, but you'll see it everywhere. There's going to be a bunch of amiibos going up in stock, and then they're all just going to vanish. It's going to be no man's land. So, you know, maybe this is kind of a warning to collectors that, hey, you might want to get on, if you see some tweets from people being like, this amiibo's in stock here, you might want to get on it and pick it up because it's probably going to appreciate in value. But, you know, it's also just kind of a talking point. You know, people always talked about how they wanted Nintendo to take these things seriously, give them their own game, maybe make Smash Bros. And Amiibo more of an integral thing, you know, years and years ago. But then everybody kind of gave up, but Nintendo still kept making them, you know? It's really funny to me. Like, it's been a cool piece of merchandise as well, because, you know, getting every Smash character as a figure, getting a bunch of these really high-quality figures has been fun, but nobody's ever used them as actual, like, in-game accessories, you know? Like, I don't buy a new amiibo and be like, oh boy, I can't wait to scan it in and get a power-up once a day. No, I don't. The only ones that were ever cool like that, post, like, Smash 4 launch, was, like, the Animal Crossing amiibo cards, because they were collectible cards and you got new villagers from them. That's another game too, right? Like, what, are you gonna re-release all the collection? They re-released the card packs for New Horizons. That's a lie, but there's not that much to re-release with that. It's just like, let's bring some new packs into circulation. But, you know, that's the thing. Amiibo figures, they're not going to bring them all back into circulation when the new Smash Bros. Comes out. You know, why bother making new amiibos for all these games at this point? I don't know if they do diminishing returns, but they barely make any of them. But yeah, I've been rambling long enough. That's why I genuinely don't expect them to make, like, more amiibos. And, like, I think we're done with the line in general. So, if you heard me, you heard it here first, folks. I don't think amiibos are going to be lasting much longer. Watch them announce this. Like, watch me record all this, and then they announce that they're discontinuing amiibos. That'd be so funny. But, you know, That was your warning. Go buy them all. Go buy them all up. Get ready to resell. And keep yourselves cornered and subscribed and like this video for more gaming news very soon. Gaming news. We don't report news. I just give opinion pieces. Bye.